Here we have the scene where supposedly Pike is home, and they're having this lovely picnic, and he's got his horse Tango there, and he even has sugar in his pockets to give his friend. But if you look in the background, you'll notice that there's a city back there, and it's actually the city of Mojave.
For those of you who don't live in Southern California, Mojave is a desert. And so it's kind of interesting that in the 23rd century, there would be this city back there. And if you look at the original matte painting, there is in fact this beautiful city, but there's also a lot of still kind of sandy gray tones back there.
And we did enhance that. Max, our matte artist, took that 60s sensibility, that World Fair sensibility that Matt Jeffries was so famous for, and created an updated city.
We said, we want you to make it lush. You know, the whole idea about Earth in the 23rd century is that it's a paradise, and everything has, you know, aside from the fact that humanity has grown to the state where there's no prejudice and there's, you know, none of these bad traits that we carry with us today, that also the environment has changed. So it was very important for us to make sure that everything looked beautiful and lush and green and living, because that's the planet of the future.
You want some coffee, dear? I left the thermos hooked to my saddle. Is it good to be home?
They read our minds very well.
Like this?
Look, I'm sorry they punish you, but we can't let them...
My, it turned out to be a lovely day, didn't it?
To rest.
Oh, it's a lovely place to rest.
Yeah, I used to ride through here when I was a kid. Not as pretty as some of the parkland around the big cities, but... That's Mojave. That's where I was born.
News to your wife?
Is it? Look. First, they made me protect you and then feel sympathy for you. And now we have these familiar surroundings and a comfortable husband-wife relationship. Well, they don't need all this for just passion. What they're after is respect and mutual dependence.
They say in the olden days, all this was a desert, just glowing sand and cactus.
But we're not hating you. Oh, no, I don't hate you. I can guess what it was like.
That's not enough.
They hide even from themselves.
I'm beginning to see why none of this has worked for you. You've been home, and fighting is on Rigel. That's not new to you either. A person...
I can't shut it off. Long. Collecting all the... Swat us.
We have a scope of work that we're required to do that, so that is the project. But we also have identified, as we watch these shows, we identify what we call broken shots. And a broken shot doesn't necessarily mean it's something so god-awful, but it's something that caught at least two of our eyes as we were watching it. And we have a little deal with CBS Digital that if there's time, they'll go in and they'll fix some of that. A shot like that is when Vina turns into this disfigured old woman. Because they would shoot her, take her out, change her makeup, put her in, shoot her, take her out, change her makeup. Every time they put her back in and filmed a little more, the camera was off its axis just a little bit, so that not only does Vina change, but the background changes. The rocks behind her all kind of shift and shift and shift. So that now the only thing that's changing in much of the shot is Vina. And that just, again, solidifies that it's a real thing that's happening, and you're not sucked out of her predicament because of a moving rock wall, and that's very important to us.